the main bit of work in the AS is to design your own training program. So last year, because of COVID, we couldn't actually design it for our friend, and that's how you're usually meant to do it. So we only designed it for ourselves. So it's like a 6-week training program, and you look at where your strengths and weaknesses are and your actual fitness sort of ability, and you kind of allocate a fitness program to sort of improve where your weaknesses lie, which I particularly really enjoyed, because I really like going to the gym and working out. Yeah.
So yeah, like the theory side this year and sort of last year as well, it sort of entailed like all the different body systems and basically the human body in general. For me, I find it particularly interesting because this year especially you get to see how sport actually does affect the human body and all the different systems, and how so many different sports affect different systems throughout the body.
So once we actually knew what event we wanted to do, we had to think of our marketing strategy. So we had Michael from Johnston Printing Limited. He came in and he discussed with us sort of what we want on the posters and leaflets and how we were going to go about it. So it was Jamie's job as the marketing manager.
So I was marketing manager. I had to go around all the different assemblies throughout the school to sort of promote our event, and by getting the flyers and the posters in, we got a chance to give those out at the end. But during the assemblies, we got a video from a few years ago of the previous colour run done to sort of give the guys throughout the school a perspective of what they were going to sign up for and what was going to be involved when they took part in the event.
But I mean, obviously it's lucky we had previous years to go off of, because we had like some like background knowledge of how to run the event from the start, which was really useful. So definitely, if you're going to do another colour run in years to come, you can definitely like use some of our information and tools, like how we went through it. And that was the main.
No, it was great because we sort of had an independence element of that as well, and we had a lot of responsibility on our shoulders as well, so it gave you a sense of achievement at the end when you actually got through the event.
I think the whole thing was sort of enjoyable. You know, every sort of part played a massive like role in the whole event, and going from the beginning when we were doing team building, like our group was already a group of friends, so we sort of know each other, but even doing that team building as a group of friends is still quite fun. And then moving on to the likes of actually starting to work our way down, deciding what sort of event we wanted to run. So how we came to Zorb football, we had like 16 different options, and obviously the other group had gone before us, so they had chose the colour run already, so that eliminated one option. So then we were left with the likes of an assault course. We had a bunch of brilliant ideas. I think the lads got very creative when we were first sort of organising it. So then eventually we just came down to the Zorb football, which I think they had ran probably 1 year previous, and it seemed to work quite well for them, so we decided we'd take that on, and we had the backing from our teacher and stuff. He thought, yeah, that'd be a good one to run, and it's really accessible to the boys. I'm sure a lot of them really did enjoy it. And after we decided, it was just putting it in motion, you know, like getting this local sponsors sorted. I was contacting people that I knew. My dad, Ethan's dad, helped with promotion. We had Holfast Barbershop down the road, or like a local up-and-coming barbershop at the minute. They give us money towards it. We had American Madness down in near Collinswater. They were happy to help as well because they know a lot of Campbell boys. So I think the community played a big part in it as well when we were getting sponsorships and all that sort of stuff. And then eventually just come to the day of running it, I thought, yeah, we were ready to go and well prepared and having everything. Looking back, reflecting on it, I think the boys really did enjoy themselves, and if it was something that I wanted to do again, I would highly recommend it to anyone. I would encourage anyone to sort of take it on because it teaches you valuable lessons and responsibilities.
In terms of what we found challenging then, I'd say actually, to be fair to us, we had it planned very nicely to start off with, but due to the other group doing the colour run, I think that was booked on like a Friday. We couldn't do the event on the same day as them, just because that's what I've been told by the higher powers of the school, and we had to basically reorganise the event with a different date, so that sort of had an effect on our contingency plan and all that sort of stuff. That was just sort of difficult for us as a group to process, because obviously, you know, when you've got everything planned, everything ready to go, and then all of a sudden that's been changed. So yeah, that was difficult as well. Although the one thing I'd say difficult as well, like a lot of us have commitments and stuff. A lot of these lads play in the rugby, so it was difficult getting everyone together at the same time. We sort of had to accept that sort of closer to the event we were going to have to meet up outside our school hours, so not just being in class but also, you know, maybe going to Tesco car park or something and having to meet up, sort of talk about something somebody found difficult or any questions or something, so I could then go to Mr. Stiles and ask, sort of, we're not sure about this. Like, Cameron sort of struggled to promote the school because there are obviously certain things we can and can't put on social media, so we had to go ask people about that. That was difficult to get sorted, but yeah, apart from that, I thought we coped very well because we were obviously faced with a lot of setbacks.
I think if we were going to do it again as well, that's something I would look at again, the whole marketing and promotion side of it, because it was sort of I initially put myself forward for the role, and it was sort of something new to me, and I wasn't sure how I would do that in like an education or a skill-based setting, because like Ethan said, there is things that you can and can't do, and people that you have to get clearance from before you can do this and do that. So that's something I would look at again. And then in terms of the actual event, just opening it up to all the other years as well, I think would be really, really something that would benefit everyone, because it was a really fun event, and I think a lot of the lads really enjoyed themselves, and we sort of got that from the feedback forms that we give out, like post-event, that a lot of them said it was something they really enjoyed and would love to take part in again. And given that chance, I think we would open it up to nearly the whole school, even get a few teachers involved, because I know a few of them were looking at it and thinking, yeah, I want to take part in that. So it was a really good time, and I think all the lads would probably, if they got the opportunity, they would run something like that again.
Look, I think this is massively beneficial for you in the future, because also if you pick this subject for A Level, you definitely will look at coaching as an option. Also, if you remember Mr. Robinson in the school, he would have hosted the Sevens tournament, and that would really require a lot of patience and time, and this will definitely teach you that. I think in GCSE you study is it sort of event management and event organisation. You sort of make those wee tables and stuff. This is obviously a more complex version of that, and it's actually putting that into practice. For me as a person, I prefer just doing things practically rather than writing things down or learning it from a textbook, so you get that sense of how to actually put that into practice, how to organise it. For me, it was learning how to deal with personalities, which is a massive thing, because in almost any workplace you go into, you'll be dealing with a range of personalities, how they cope under stress, how they cope when things are going well. So yeah, I'd definitely say you get a good sense of how people react in certain scenarios, and how to cope with setbacks, how to sort of stay resilient. And I'd also say that sort of the organisation element of it, the administration, just keeping record of things, staying organised, staying on top of your work, while also balancing other things, because I think it's important to bear in mind that we all study different subjects for A Level as well, all with different requirements, some more coursework, some more exam. So it was sort of good to get that sense of how we balance our work, our time management skills, and we've never really been in that sort of scenario where we have something as big as this. You know, this isn't something that you can sort of just cancel and move on. You know, people are expecting to do a tournament, and bottom line is that's what we have to give them.
You heard a lot there from the boys. Hopefully that's sort of shed a bit of light on what they do. I just really want to conclude by saying how much opportunity is probably our biggest thing that we offer at Campbell, in different sports, and whether it's at the elite level or whether it's recreational sport, we think that there's a niche for everybody, and there's lots of different activities and lots of different sports that pupils can follow. To learn more about our sports, if you look on our website and link to some of our social media pages. Thanks very much for listening.